So what you see right here is the first progress post of one of our students that started a Faceless channel, as we can see right here. Now, he just monetized it already like 6 days ago. So he monetized this channel in just 13 days, as we can see exactly here, which is super strong. And in today's video, I'll show you exactly how we did it with him and how you can do it too. Now, for the people who don't know me, I'm Stefan, 23 years old, and I currently make between $30,000 and $40,000 a month with my own Faceless YouTube channels, and I'm constantly starting new channels every single week. Then I've made $42,000 with just 2 videos, as we can see right here, $12,000 and $30,000. And then I've scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days, which is absolutely crazy, as we can see there. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here, Martin, who have helped to scale to $31,000 in one single month. Here, a different student from 0 to, 100,000 views every 48 hours. Here, a student to $12,000 a month. Here, a student to $24,000 a month, and many more. Now, if you're interested in getting the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description. Book a call with me and we'll have a look how we can scale you up as well. Now, very important, please do not book your call if you're not serious about actually scaling up your YouTube channel. Now, before we can get started, all right, I actually planned out a huge video for you guys. Now, what is very important is, and this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is essentially seeing YouTube as a marketplace. And this is exactly why I think most of our students are so successful, because they learn how to see YouTube as a marketplace. And just like any other market, YouTube has supply and YouTube has demand. All right. Now, what does that actually mean? So, demand is what the audience actually wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. Now, one thing we do very differently to, or what normal YouTubers do very differently than we do, they take years to build their personal brands, spend years building a connection to their audience, and takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. Now, what we do with YouTube automation, luckily we skip this whole process. We actually just go ahead and look for a topic or niche that has a lot of demand but no supply, and we just supply these exact people what they want to see. And that's the powerful thing about Faceless YouTube automation. Now, for that, whenever we go into niche research, there's specific criteria we always look at. All right, like for example, number 1, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in this niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply, which is extremely important whenever you want to, get into a niche. All right, this is going to make or break your channel in 99% of cases. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. This is extremely important. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content than my competitors. And then ask yourself, am I actually interested in this niche? This is not a must as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that niche. Then is the niche monetizable? Otherwise, you're not going to make any money. Then huge bonus if you can actually post long videos. Now, quick note, this does not need to be 1,000% with every single niche you find or with every single niche you want to go into. All right, does not need to be 1,000%. All right. Now, what we use to actually find these niches in the first place is a dummy account. All right. So this is basically an YouTube account that we only use for niche research. Now, the YouTube homepage has, changed for our advantage. The YouTube in general, got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch. All right. Now, and we can use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. All right. Now, instead of me explaining you this whole progress, let me actually show you exactly how that looks like. So let me actually go to my own dummy account right here. So this here is my own dummy account. And on here, you will see the faceless video, faceless, 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 faceless. Everything on here is just faceless. Here, another faceless channel, faceless, faceless. Everything is just faceless on my YouTube homepage. And this makes it extremely powerful for doing niche research, because we can now just literally scroll through our YouTube homepage and find hundreds and hundreds of niches just on our YouTube homepage. Guys, you don't know how many niches my students are finding. Some of them are like finding 150 niches in a week, which is absolutely crazy, right? And this is all with the dummy account, okay? Now let me show you how to set up a dummy account. So what you basically do is you create a brand new YouTube account, like for example here. just imagine that I am signed in. Then you can look up anything, for example, animals, right? Wait, 10 biggest animals. This can be, no joke, anything you're interested in, as long as you here, just as an example, only click on faceless videos, all right? So I clicked on a faceless video. You need to make sure that the video is actually faceless. Then you can go here to the sidebar. And very important is, again, that you only click on faceless videos the whole time here on the sidebar as well. Otherwise, YouTube is gonna, also show you personal brand channels on your YouTube homepage, and that is not something we want. We just want faceless content on our YouTube homepage. Here, let me have a look. Here is another one. I think, hopefully, I don't know. Okay, it's faceless content as well. Here's another faceless content. So, and we literally go on and do this over and over and over again until, like 30 minutes or something. Then you should be pretty good. And then once you've done this, we can go back to our YouTube homepage. And then on our YouTube homepage, this isn't going to be as good now because I've only done it like very, very quickly. But we will see faceless content, faceless, I don't know, no, faceless content. So we can even click on faceless content on our YouTube homepage to then again show YouTube even more like, hey, we want to see faceless content. So let's go back. Then now again, faceless. This one isn't faceless, but faceless. So now already we can see a bunch more faceless content on our YouTube homepage, all right? So now you guys know how to set up a dummy account. It's super, super easy. Once we picked a niche, it's all about speed, all right? YouTube is player versus player, and the player who's going to be the fastest is going to be the winner, all right? So we want to create our channel. Now, this is not something that should take longer than 10 to 15 minutes. Very quickly, like you can just ask ChatGPT for a channel name. You can ask it to create the logo for you. You can ask it to create the banner for you, everything. This should not take longer than 10 to 15 minutes, all right? Now, once we created the channel, we actually want to warm up our account. Now we warm up our accounts to actually increase our trust score. Now trust score is how much does the platform actually trust our account. The higher this is, the more YouTube is actually going to push us, and the lower it is, the less YouTube is actually going to push us, all right? So that is essentially what trust score is. Now, what accounts need to be warmed up? So we need to warm up new accounts, and then we need to warm up aged accounts. Now, how do we actually warm up our accounts? Very easy. We just use it as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day. We subscribe, like, and comment to different kind of YouTube channels. Very important is that you do not spam this out, all right? Then we do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score, all right? Now, you can also do it for less time. And I just want to say that this isn't going to be 100%, but this does help, okay? Then quick note, always have 1 to 2 warmed up channels ready to go, so we can always get started as fast as possible. Then we need to choose video topics for our channel. So that's exactly what we did for him. Now we have to understand that supply and demand is not just important in our niche, but also important in the video topics we are going to choose. So how do you actually find demand in video topics? We look for recent outlier videos on competitor channels. We look for recent trending formats. And very important is that we do not copy the most popular videos from competitors, because this is what everyone does and your videos will 1,000,000% fail, all right? Now, how do we actually go ahead and find supply? We use YouTube search bar and look for how many people have created the exact same video. If it's been done more than 3 times and you don't have a different angle to that specific video, go ahead and look for a different topic. All right. Now, why is that? So YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans first of that niche. And if they have already seen that video multiple times, they don't have a reason for clicking on your video, except if it follows a different angle. Okay. Now, next up, how does a perfect video topic actually look like? The topic actually resonates with your audience. So ask yourself, does my audience even want to watch this kind of content? Then some topics sound very interesting on the surface, but are super boring if you actually go deeper into it. Your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend. Repeat what has done well in the past and leverage negativity, because humans respond better to negative things. And this has always been the case. All right. If we look at news, they're also always using negativity. All right. So very easy. I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So first thing first, we always do niche research with our students. Then we choose an account. All right. I usually always go with a personal or a aged account, new account, or even a aged account with our students. We don't usually start out with pre-monetized accounts, right? We always start out with these. Then we choose here 10 to 15 video topics. All right. And these topics actually need to be good. Like the biggest difference between people that are failing and people that are actually succeeding are the video topics. And that's why that's, for example, something we do completely together. All right. So if you need help, check out the first link in the video description, book your call, and we'll do that together. All right. Now, once we have our topics, we're actually going to write the script with ChatGPT or any kind of AI. It's completely up to you. We're going to do the voiceover with 11 Labs or even here GenAI Pro, which is just a very cheap version of 11 Labs. Here GenAI Pro, very cheap version of 11 Labs. So 1,000,000 credits, $22, very cheap. Then editor, we're actually going to use a freelancer. You can get them on Upwork, right? Most of you guys know Upwork, but you can get some pretty decent editors from there for like, let's say, for example, 20, like let's say 15 to $25 per video, right? Then for the thumbnail, and editors, we basically give you guys as well if you work with me. Thumbnail, we're going to use a freelancer or we're going to do it ourselves, depending on how complicated it is. Then want to make sure that our videos are 1.5 times longer than our competitive videos. Reason for it is very simple. The video that's going to keep the viewer on YouTube for the longest period of time is always going to be the video that YouTube is going to push the most. All right, very simple. For the thumbnail and the title, we always want to make sure that we work with proven to work concepts. All right, do not reinvent the wheel, just work with proven to work concepts. Okay, then we actually go into the posting phase where we post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post, and we continue the cycle until we have 15 videos uploaded. All right, now why do we do it like this? Because we want to build trust with the platform. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either the channel is going to blow up like it did here, then we're actually going to continue to post on this exact channel. Now, because now we know like, okay, what we're doing, it works. Now, if nothing happens after you posted 15 videos and you don't get any views, then you do not continue to post and you actually go ahead and you start to question, why did the channel fail? So it can be either your niche, your video topics, your packaging, your video length, or it could also be a bad channel. Right? So you need to go ahead and you need to try to understand why did this specific channel fail? And once you understand that, then you go back to niche research and repeat this process until you get a channel to work. That's how easy it is. All right. Now, if you need any help with doing this and, need help from me, maybe scaling up your channel, just like we did with this student who did $18,000 a month, or this one who did $8,000 a month, or this one $4,000 a month, or here first $1,000 a month, and many, many more, then check out the first link in the video description. Go ahead and book your call with me. We'll have a look at your Faceless channel and have a look if we can actually scale it up or not. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.